been using a lot of these cell cams this year and a lot in years past, and just seeing the progression of technology within these cameras is that's always something fun to see the development of any product over time.
Yeah, well, based on all the heads on the wall behind you, I would say that the trail cams they've been helping you out.
Yeah, I would say sometimes they definitely play a role. Here in Colorado, sadly, unfortunately, it's not I don't agree with it, but every state has different, some have no camera laws, but in Colorado, I have to remove any cell cameras 48 hours before I start hunting. Now
Okay.
that's not before the start of the season, but that's before I physically go in and say, okay, I'm going in. So our deer season starts October 1st here for whitetail, and so I am actually going to go in later this afternoon, and I'm going to pull everything. Just it's early. I like to make sure that I get everything out so there's no questions, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, but then all I do is I just replace those cellulars with a top model digital, and
Gotcha.
I mean, I literally lose nothing, so it's really handy.
Cool, cool. Well, actually, before we get into trail cams, real quick, I want to, talk about your hunting season so far. We're recording this in late September, and
Yeah.
you have already had a banner year. You've been sending us, some of the editors on staff, photos of you've gotten a great pronghorn, you got a nice deer. I understand you got a nice elk too. How's you
Yeah.
got to be feel
Yeah.
pretty high on life right now.
Well, it's one of those blessed Septembers that you just, you don't, you work hard all year, you train, you do all the stuff with your gear and you prepare. And then, it's then once hunting season gets there, it's just time to go to work. And
Yeah.
so we've been really, really fortunate. I killed a really nice pronghorn with my bow, and then I got to go to Wyoming to a really cool place. I've really wanted to hunt whitetails in September,
Mhm.
and the goal was a velvet buck. That was the goal. But when that buck walked in, like he'd been stripped for at least we figure about a week, and it didn't matter. It was a 150 plus inch deer in Wyoming, in that part of Wyoming. I wasn't about to let him walk, and then yeah. And then 4 days later, lo and behold, I killed a really cool, unique bull. He's actually a 7x3. He
Wow.
had some damage to his particles. So that's the side that I saw coming through, was just that gnarly, funky side. And anything that has some weirdness to it, I'm usually all about that. So no, it's been a great September. My son killed his first bow bull like 5 days after
Wow.
that. Um, so yeah, it's just been one of those things that we're gonna try to keep the train on the tracks and keep rolling.
Yeah, well, you can't beat fall. Um,
No.
Now with yeah, with trail cameras, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back in time because one of the things I really enjoyed about the test you wrote for fieldandstream.com on the best cellular trail cams of 2025 is you really, give a sense for how far trail cameras have come in technology. And I'd like to hear you talk about the first trail cameras you ever used, just to give our audience a sense of like what the originals were like.
Right. So like I remember like when trail cameras started to hit, and of course this is way pre-cellular and
Uh-huh.
even pre-digital. So I don't even remember the brand, but I
Uh-huh.
remember I got it from Cabela's. And I'd seen some advertising done on this thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're gonna tell me that this little box, well, it wasn't little, but this box that I'm gonna put in the woods is gonna be able to watch the game 24/7, 365, and the whole 9 yards. So I got really amped up and really excited about it. And these, of course, were film style trail
Yeah.
cameras. And I'll never forget like the first time I put batteries in it and I set the film just like you would in an old shoot and wind camera.
Uh-huh.
And I push this button and the camera literally goes, there's like this long delay and then it flips. And I'm like, oh, well, surely it's not, whatever.
Yeah.
So I remember going and I left it out for like 3 weeks, and I went back,
Uh-huh.
and there's a 24 film roll and it was full. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have so much. I run down to Walmart, I wait for the 1 hour photo, and I've got like weeds, nothing, a coyote, and one doe staring at me that looks like her eyes are these lights above me.
Yeah.
Because the strobe of the flash was like something you'd see in Vegas, right? It was just like boom. It freaked her out. So when I was kind of like, okay, I still see some value in this. I still see where it can help me, but gosh, I'm going to have to try to modify like where I'm sitting it, and started to learn about angles and which way to face them depending on the sun and weeds and how wind plays into to affecting these things. And then you just saw this progression
Yeah.
of, because everybody's having the same experience, and
Right.
savvy manufacturers are like, I got to make a change here. So
Mhm.
that's how it started for me. I feel like I was kind of in on the ground. I mean, I was young, but I was
Yeah.
like, these were new.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just that detail about you taking a roll of film to Walmart to have it developed. I mean, there's so many people, young folks out there who they don't even know what we're talking about. But
No,
that's
no,
amazing.
film alone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So fast forward to the trail cams of today, specifically cellular trail cams. Does it blow your mind by how far the technology has come?
I think it's even beyond mind blowing. And
Hmm.
this year was just flat out boggling. I mean, like
Yeah.
truly, I mean, when you can sit here right now,
Yeah.
and a deer walks by your camera, it's
Hmm.
going to send you a message, and you're going to see that deer, whether you have, depending on the camera. Some cameras deliver a thumbnail. Brownings that I tested this year, the live stream, it delivers an actual HD photo, which I really appreciated. I mean, it comes through full HD, ready to go. Some of them
Hmm.
have photo plus video, but then you got to request the HD photo or the video, and then the camera's got to trigger and get. They're all different, but the technology of just being able to really have what I talked about in the start, that 24/7 365, what's going on, but now you have it in real time.
Yeah.
And I mean, then you have some of these abilities to, like, I can log into a camera right now, and
Hmm.
I can go to real time view, and I can watch. I have one camera set over a man-made pond. Um, I can watch what's going on in front of that pond for up to 5 minutes in real time. So if I'm walking in to hunt, and we always worry about, like guys are planting food plot screens, right? They're doing everything. We have to focus on entrance and exit. This takes it even a step farther and goes, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch. I mean, I messed with it one day. Of course, I'm not hunting, but I'm just messing around. Like, I'm watching this trail camera as I go in
Yeah.
until I enter into the screen of the camera. And it was just like, kind of like, I mean,
It,
it,
it's amazing you can get any
it's,
work done with all these distractions, because you never know what
oh,
you're going to be able to find out there.
thing. Like that's kind of a drawback to this. When I was in Illinois, I was with my good buddy Levi Morgan, and we were sitting there talking about this. And
Hmm.
we're both family men. We've got kids, we've got wives, and realizes you, because it could be him, right? We could be a hitless buck. It could be him at any moment. It could be this. It could be that. And as soon as those cameras go out, this phone becomes even more of an addiction. So
Hmm.
the cool thing is you can set delivery times. So like right now, never have mine set to instant
Hmm.
because I can't use them during hunting season here anyway.
Yeah.
Now, the cameras we have set in Illinois and the cameras I have set on my lease in Oklahoma, starting here in about a week and a half, they'll change from to instant delivery. But like
Yeah.
right now, I just have them delivered once a day. So you can
Gotcha.
set all these parameters. These apps are incredible and they're
Hmm.
so easy to use. Like, I mean, I'm not very great with technology, but every app that I used, it's just like read an instruction and push a button. Read an instruction and push a button. It's that simple.
That's cool. Can you walk me through your testing process for these trail cams?
Yeah, man. I really thought it was important, when you do a field test of any nature, you know, uh, Dave Hurto and I went back and forth and back and forth. And so I think it's really important that that field test happens in an area where it's actually in the field.
Hmm.
Watched some videos. I saw some backyard testing, and I did some of that, right? I set out the cones and I walked in front of the cones and did different stuff like that. But I want to see how it performs in the field under any type of condition. And in Southeast Colorado, in summertime, those cameras were exposed to heat of up to 108 degrees Fahrenheit, winds
Wow.
up to 50 miles an hour, hail, just buckets of rain, some real violent conditions. And then, of course, though, those perfect summer sun soaked days,
Sure.
it's nice and
Sure.
cool, everything's good. So I wanted to see, the main primary thing was like, I want to know how many false triggers. I
Mhm.
want to see, because I hate sifting through blanks. And those cameras went on a rotation. So they went on a rotation between isolated kill plots, larger ag fields, a three-way trail intersection in tight timber, a river crossing, um, just all types of different areas to see. In some instances, the camera was very up close to where a deer was going to come. I wanted to see what the reaction was to the flash. In
Mhm.
some instances, like the three-way trail intersection, I'm pushing the maximum limit of any of those cameras range that says, okay, this camera's detection range is tested day or night, capture detection to 80 feet. So I would use Hunt Stand's line measuring tool, and
Mhm.
then also a rangefinder, and then just some basic math. And I used a camera stake so that I could move that camera to that furthest or closest or wherever I wanted to be in that instance, and really see those types of things. And then trigger speed also. So trigger speed was kind of interesting, but I used a combination of things. I used a stopwatch. I'm a big runner, and I have those chips. That proved to be a little bit interesting. But the most important thing that was still in the field. Like, we had so many predators. We have coyotes, bobcats, different things, or just a deer running. Where that camera's angled and where that animal's captured in the frame, if
Mhm.
it's moving, will tell you a lot about whether that manufacturer's trigger speed is spot on or not. So,
Mhm.
I mean, we went through a lot. I mean, I recorded very live, number of photos. When I switched to video, I pull all my video and photos up here on the big computer in the office, really look at the granular nature of the photos or lack thereof, the blur, all these different things. And then I played with the apps.
Yeah.
Anything the app said it could do, I wanted to see if it truly could do. Like Moultrie says, that you can sort analytically. You can see which stands are having the most buck activity at what times of day, and it was spot on. So like
Gotcha.
those are really unique features within the app. So I'd like to think we really did a comprehensive test,
Totally.
and we put out some really good information on that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's really thorough, and because these things are expensive, and it's a useful service that we're providing to people. Like, they,
Sure.
if you're going to invest this money, like, we're going to tell you which one's the best.
Exactly. And I think it's important for people to know too, like, that's why in some of the things that I wrote, like some of these cameras have come a long way. Like
Hmm.
I wouldn't have, there was years ago, where I didn't have great luck with Browning's Defender series, and some of the covert models I struggled with, and certain things within certain brands. Those aren't the only two. But what I love to see is the constant progression of manufacturers knowing, because they wouldn't change it if they don't know. If it goes back to that saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But if it is
Right.
broke,
Right.
fix it.
Yeah.
And I think that there's been some huge strides in what these cameras can do, and how effective. Was
Gotcha.
very pleased with the whole group, really.
Awesome. Let's talk about some of the top performers. The Tactical Reveal Ultra One, best overall. Why? I guess why? What impressed you about that camera? What made it stand out?
It's so from a usage standpoint, for me, day to day,
Hmm.
that camera took the fewest number of false triggers. I mean, and no matter where I moved it. In addition to that, that camera has an adjustable flash. So
Hmm.
here's the thing that also really, really bothers me about trail cameras, because I've seen it happen. Do I think that sometimes as hunters we give animals too much credit? I really do. I mean,
Hmm.
I'm not saying animals aren't smart. I don't think you get much smarter than a mature buck, or those types of things. But I think sometimes we tend to overthink things, and it ends up costing us. I'm a much
Hmm.
more aggressive hunter. So one of the things I do realize, though, is once a deer has realized, some deer are movie stars. They don't
Uh-huh.
care. They'll love to get their picture taken.
Yeah.
Where others get that flash and you get
Uh-huh.
this look into and it's like, oh, damn. And
You've
then
never
all of
seen
a
him
sudden,
again.
you don't see him there in front of that camera. Now you go move that camera
Hmm.
40 degrees down another trail, bam, you got him.
Hmm.
All he did, he's recognized that it's there. So being able to switch between a low glow and a no glow style flash because like in an open food plot, I wanted more of a low glow because I wanted to reach out and capture a little bit more. But in tight timber settings, you don't know. I did not have one single deer,
Wow.
other than a doe that wanted to come up and lick it,
Yeah.
which happens all the time, which is already like, well, she doesn't care. She smelled me on it. She smelled something on it. It those features really impress me, along with the ability, the ease of use of the app. The detection range is crazy. I
Uh-huh.
can't remember off the top of my head what Tacticam brands the detection capture range at, but I have a doe at a measured distance of like way past that. Um, and so as a complete package, it's very easy to conceal. It's got a wide paddle style antenna. It's got a slot for that antenna, which I really appreciate because like a lot of my areas that I like to go set cameras, I like to go walkabouts. The connectivity was quick. It was really easy. I got in and out of areas fast. Battery life was good. And I like that little slot for that antenna. It's like a compact unit.
Hmm.
Um, it was just one of those that it was a no fail, foolproof type of camera that just had a little bit more. The theft technology within it. And another feature I love about it that made it very special to me is with that camera, I can sit here right now and I can turn the cellular function of that camera off and I get a photo that timestamps the date, everything that I went from non-cellular to just an active digital camera.
Wow.
And
Cool.
I like that feature. And there's cameras, states with cell camera laws. And I think that that's important that somebody, like now I don't have to go take that Tacticam down
Yeah.
and then replace it with another camera. I just push a button and I get a timestamp date so that if something comes up where somebody said, well, Jace killed a big buck, but my gosh, he's using those cell cameras. You'd be like, I was absolutely. But look, this is the day time I took it off. So, those are some things that just made that camera really stand out to me.
Sweet. And then best value went to the Moultrie Mobile Edge 3. I mean, it's the price speaks for itself. It's $100. I mean, that is a great value. But what else about that camera impressed you?
The app for
Hmm.
what it can do. I love all the settings that Moultrie offers. AI technology is something that's coming, that's out there, and it's been in the camera world for a little while. Moultrie's is always spot on. The AI recognition feature within that camera is very good. If it's a doe, it's a doe. If it's a buck, it's a buck. A hog, a hog. And you can select different things within that. I like that. I like being able to turn off people in trucks unless, especially when I'm on my private lease, because I should be the only one in there and I don't want to waste battery life or camera
Hmm.
or anything of it snapping me when I'm in there working on whatever I'm doing. And in addition to that, I like all the graphs and analytics that camera tracks. I am a big analytic guy when it comes to animals. So I journal everything. I journal and write constantly. This kind of does that for me because it just compiles the analytics. It tells me which stands are getting the most, which cameras are getting the most traffic. I can translate that into which stands I need to be in. And then you can also set it up. This is something that I really love. If I always want, and I do, because sometimes videos are deceiving, especially on trail cameras, I always want a video of every buck. From a spiker, I want the video of the buck. So I can set that camera to send me videos of bucks without having to go in and request them. That camera already knows. I've given it a direction through the Moultrie app that says when that edge takes a picture of a buck, AI technology says that's a buck. Give that man a video, and I get a video. That's cool. And a
Wild.
price point camera that was right there. Like I don't think people understand like how close and how hard this was. Um, and now I have the Edge 3 Pro. So
Uh-huh.
that one came after we did the test. And some of the things that I wasn't quite crazy about with the Edge 3 Pro is a little better. It's a little pricier, but for like you said, it's a no-brainer. I mean,
Yeah.
I would fill my deer property with those cameras and have zero worries. Zero worries. I'd probably use them and their cell cameras more than I've used any other brand over the years.
Gotcha.
They're very
You know,
reliable.
AI is pretty scary in a lot of ways, but there are ways
Yeah.
where it's really exciting and useful, and this is one of them. Moments ago you mentioned that I liked how you said that some bucks are movie stars and will let you take photos of them all day. A cool thing about trail cams is that obviously they're hunting tools, but they do provide some entertainment, and it is neat that they allow you to see the personalities of some of these animals. Wouldn't you say?
It's so fun, man. I submitted this. This wasn't even a video for a trail camera. I sent one over to Dave when I was in Wyoming, and we later got the trail cam video through a digital camera that the outfitter that I was going with was using. But it's just this little fawn in this pond, and it's just playing.
Yeah.
It was
I saw
so
that.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, I did that through my phone, but then they also have the footage because they set all of their standard digital cameras to just record video. Because the great thing about video, and the great thing like what you're saying, is when you can go back and set up whether you want to set your video for 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Some of these cameras will take minutes of video. You really get to learn a lot about how an image shows you the deer when it got its picture taken. A video will show you how that deer reacted, possibly very, very likely where that deer came from, and very likely, if you had it set long enough, where that deer is going and how it did and how it interacted with the camera and its surroundings. So, like, videos are huge. Like, I think you learn so much from those types of videos. And then the great thing with cellular cameras and videos is all of a sudden you go, okay, that buck was at point X where I have a stand. 16 minutes later, he was at point Z where I have a stand. And all of a sudden, if you have these cameras positioned, and you can do it with digital cameras too, you just got to write down more notes and figure out, like, he was here at this time, he went to this one. But there's just so much that these cameras do that are valuable learning tools that will help you be more successful when you're in the fall woods. I really, really feel like.
Awesome. One more question for you. What is the wildest thing you've ever captured on a trail camera in all these years?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it was a mountain lion on the back of a cow elk.
No way.
Yeah. Yep. So my buddy and I, we run, I shouldn't say his hounds. He's an amazing houndsman. I just love dogs, and I love going along for any type of hound use, and seeing how much those dogs love it. And so, a lot of times in my country down here where I live, snow is very, we can get it in just crazy amounts, or we can get very minimal amounts of snow. And sometimes it only lasts for a few days. So we run dry a lot, and we use digital trail cameras in known locations where lions tend to frequent that we've learned over the years. And we actually got a picture. It's a cow elk, and she's like arched up, and you can't see but you can see the forearm and the claws of the lion on her left side. Well, that'd be the wildest thing I ever got.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then, other than that, I was last year on November 6th or 7th. I can't remember which day we reopened for our archery season. Obviously, I can't use cells at that point. So when I went to go climb up in my stand, I popped my digital card out of the camera, and I climbed up in my stand. And once it got light enough, when I knew I wasn't going to be glowing like a Christmas tree up there, I went ahead, plugged in my card reader. And like 2 hours before I'd gone through there, like one of the biggest tall mountain lions that I have a picture of on a river bottom was through there. It was the first one I saw one. I was like, boy, it was me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh boy, well, you're
that'll fire me up.
Hope you keep moving and don't kill my deer.
Awesome. Well, Jace, this has been a blast. We'll put a link to the trail cam test in the show notes, but great job. Thanks for joining us, and I hope your hunting season keeps on the pace that it's on so far.
I appreciate it, man. I very much appreciate you guys having me on, and enjoy writing for you. And it's really a blessing, and I thank you so much for having me.